Hey, what's up, big old Northtown sound? Oh god, gonna get the 90s on. Here we go. It is focusing on the grunge, the Digitech Grunge. Kind of mentioned in my that pedal tour video thing that I did. I should talk about this thing. I was actually just talking about this thing the other day with a guy. So today we're gonna yak about the grunge. The subtitle to this video will be how to make the most out of what you've got, or conversely, um, pedals that are really great in a chain but might suck on their own. So, the grunge, let's talk about this thing. Okay, the grunge. So, for those of you who don't know, this is kind of it's a metal pedal. It's not actually a grunge. It's more in that metal pedal family of gains. Um, these are pretty legendary amongst bassists, which is why I picked this up. I got this it was on a Boxing Day sale, I don't know, a few years back. I picked this up brand new for 30 bucks. I kind of knew even then that this was not the greatest distortion pedal on the face of the earth. But again, for bass, it's kind of fun. For those of you who've never dealt with these before, you got four knobbies. We've got the loud, so your volume. We've got the grunge, which is your gain, and that's usually about where I leave mine. But then you have a very, very aggressive active EQ system in here with bass and treble, which is why bass players love this thing. You can dial in tons of bass with the grind. Personally, you know what? Here, I'm just going to play it, see what you think. Okay, so I'm rocking the no talent today because that's that's kind of how I'm feeling. The carpal tunnel is really acting up on me right now. I don't know why. So just straight single humbucker, going clean, going home. So if we hit the grunge, it just goes to ass. Here we go. Um, I probably would have thought that sounded awesome when I was 12. It's pretty bad, and this is usually where I have it sitting. What does that have to do with grunge? Okay, like I never heard that tone on a Mudhoney album. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Um, so this pedal I really use with two settings. This is the first one. The other one, which someday I'm going to use, is what I call the Mosquito. I love this. That's just so awful. It's awesome. So, yeah, this is not the greatest gain pedal. So why do I keep it around? This is a small stone from Electro Harmonics. This is one of my favorite phasers on the face of the earth. It's just brilliant. So if we go bypass, same amp settings and everything else. You have two settings on this, the low color and the high setting, which allows a huge amount of filtration in, which I just love. Now, if you're like me and you like dirt in front of any sort of modulation pedals like this pose a bit of a problem. and I'm going to try to illustrate this. I really need a bigger light box. I did write Santa and ask him for a tripod. There you go. You're not paying for this. It's free content. Okay, do you see any ads? You know what? Deal with it. Guerrilla camera work. Deal with it. So we've got the small stone. We're in the high setting with the maximum amount of filtration. We have the Eno TC15, which is a modded DS circuit. We've got the Eno BMF Fuzz, which is a muff. And we got the Grunge. Okay, so let's say that sound I want some gain with, right? So again, here's the small stone by itself. So let's say I want that filter, I want that gate, but I want some gain going into it because I like my gain at the start of things. I like modulated gain, not gain modulation. So let's go with the DS1. Okay, let's go with some Muffy Fuzz action, shall we? And lastly, if I can turn that one off and turn this one on, let's get grungy, shall we? So there's something kind of interesting going on there if you're listening to those three. These two, the fuzz is hitting the wave of the phaser and it's kind of murking everything up. This thing, for some crazy unknown reason, is cutting through. So let's just try on that D chord again. Let's try the muff again. And let's try the grunge again. The grunge is doing this weird thing where more of the note is coming through as opposed to the other gains. And I've tried a bunch of different gain pedals and this happens every single time with the grunge. So for some reason the grunge is fitting in with that heavy filter a heck of a lot better than these other two pedals are. It's the strangest thing, but it works. I'll give you another quick example here. This, of course, is the Electric Mistress, the fat boy, which actually fills my light box. So the gains are on the outside. They're over there. I haven't changed the settings on anything. So I've got this set to a pretty fat, wide sweep. That sounds like this. If we throw on the DS1 with that, it gets washed right out. If we hit it with the fuzz, it sounds like this. You get that sort of J Mascis kind of noise out of that, which, you know, I dig, but it might not be what I want if we go with the grunge. So I just put this into the filter matrix mode. The switch is up there. Just believe me, it's on. You will hear it. So this is with no gain going in. We're going to hit the DS style circuit. Then we are going to hit the fuzz circuit. And then, of course, we're going to hit the grunge. You're hearing the hollowness that the filter matrix is adding to that. Again, here's the bypass. So it's going to be hollow on everything. What the grunge is doing is the notes are coming through. There's some definition that's happening there. Don't like it as much on the chords on this setting as, let's say, the fuzz would be. And frankly, with the filter matrix, I'm usually going with the fuzz simply because I want it to sound weird and synthy or whatever you want to call it, right? But still, there's some definition. So the grunge is a useful little tool. Yeah, the grunge. So, is this one of my go-to gain pedals? Not really, but you can hear what happens if we're running this into a high filter pedal. I could show you this with my Hog, I could show you this with my Murph, I could show you this with Ring Mod or whatever. This thing fits. For some weird reason, it fits. And I keep it around just for that, because sometimes other things, you're getting too much of the wave of the modulation, crazy finger effect. This allows the note to come through, which is what I kind of like about it. They're not expensive. Would I gig with this? You know, if I was in a noise situation, I would probably have this on a subboard going into some things so I could take advantage of the way this fits. Grunge, no, grunge, you want a big muff circuit. But, interesting pedal, and like I said, econo. So, yeah, I just had a little yak with you there. So, the Digitech Grunge from northtownsound, focus in on the northtownsound, Big Earl from northtownsound.com. Later.